Welcome back. It's been a rough time for small businesses dealing with the pandemic and power outages, but there was little relief for them in the budget speech. We speak now to and get some reaction from CEO of Business Growth Specialist Fetola Catherine Wijnberg joins me this morning. And Catherine, a pleasure having you. Thank you so much for your time. I'm keen to hear more of your interpretation, though, of Minister Godongwana's budget speech, particularly when we look at tax hikes and the warning regarding future tax increases without, of course, reducing government expenditure. What's your reaction?
Yeah, my sense is that this budget has been a kind of a holding pattern, that we're trying not to do too many wild moves in this election year. What I would have really liked to see in this budget is that it was more, there was more stimulus. There's no stimulus package. So yes, certainly it's comforting that there's not been an increase in personal tax and in corporate tax. But from an SMEs point of view, we need to go far beyond that if we're really going to create a thriving environment for small businesses to succeed.
Do you think the budget speech accommodated SMEs, the challenges that they incur every day, the resilience they've had to show, especially since the pandemic? Do you think it did accommodate SMEs in making sure there's more relief for them?
No, I don't think it did at all. The fact is that entrepreneurs suffer from two things. One is that the first thing is that they need to be able to access markets. And I think the problem in South Africa is that we've had persistent low growth. There is no growth in the economy. If there's no growth in the economy and consumers don't have money in their pockets, if there's no business confidence and people are not confident in investing, there's no place for entrepreneurs to succeed. So there's this great narrative that entrepreneurs and small businesses are going to solve the unemployment problem. But the reality is that if there isn't a market for them to work in, you can't just have a strategy that keeps making new businesses if those businesses don't have anywhere in order to make the money. And so, yeah, so I don't think that it's gone anywhere near far enough in order to really create a thriving opportunity for entrepreneurs.
Right. So, Catherine, as a matter of urgency, what measures do you think need to be put in place to not only support SMEs, but to help them stimulate job creation within the country?
Yeah. So I think actually there are some opportunities that maybe we're missing. I understand that there's something like over R1 trillion, I think if I'm correct, that's been given out in social grants. And I think that we're missing an opportunity there. Half of the businesses in South Africa are not formally registered. So I think that there needs to be a strategy to help those businesses in order to circulate those social grants. Because at the moment what happens is that people receive a social grant, they'll go and they'll spend 80% of it maybe at the local Boxer store or Pick and Pay. The balance will go to MTN, and a very, very tiny portion will go to a local, maybe a local chicken farmer. And the reality is that if the money's going in and straight out to the JSE, there's no wealth creation. And so anything that we can do in order to create thriving local economic ecosystems is what we need to be doing in order to build on that, in order to build wealth. And particularly to build shared wealth. Because as you know, one of the biggest problems in South Africa is this huge concentration of the economy in a few businesses at the top of the pile. And until we can change that, until we really look and say that the problem, we keep talking about unemployment as the problem. Unemployment is the symptom of the problem. The real problem is that we're not putting in the right stimulus to create economic growth. We're not creating the right environment for people to want to bring investment into the country. And so there isn't, if you like, there isn't the stimulus beyond which small businesses can thrive. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, it does. And I know that over and above that, you as Fetola actually doing something alongside your partners, at least in collaborating to address the funding gap and further support SMEs. Take me through what models you're looking into within this collaboration that you share with the likes of Nedbank as well as the SAB Foundation.
Yeah, thank you so much. So in fact, in Fetola, we do two things. Our mandate is to help people start and grow successful businesses. So we do both work in creating thriving value systems, helping entrepreneurs to start and grow successful businesses. So really giving them skills and capabilities in order to succeed as entrepreneurs, and then helping them to find the right market access. So just what I was saying is helping them to be ready to access markets, because that's what you need. You need the skills and you need the markets, and then you need the access to finance. And the exciting work that we're doing with our partners Nedbank, with the SAB Foundation and others, is really trying to prove models where we can bridge that gap between the lenders' hugely risk-averse intentions and the inability of the entrepreneur to be ready for finance. So we've got some really exciting catalytic work that we're doing in helping entrepreneurs to access that market in that hugely tricky area between 250,000 and 5 million. And so, yeah, so that's what we're doing is we're helping with pre-investment, so making sure that the businesses are ready, that they have quality product, they know where they're marketing it, they have access to markets, and then that they have the tools and the expertise and the compliance in order to be able to access the finance that will help them grow.
Well, thank you so much, Catherine, for speaking to me about this, also sharing what you are doing to try and come up with interventions and resolutions to further support SMEs. We know that the funding gap is quite a big problem in stifling the growth and progress of SMEs, but also to stimulate, these businesses to create more jobs. It's going to take a lot of work, and all my thanks to you, Catherine Wijnberg from Fetola, for speaking to me about this. Thank you so much. All right, we also come to this now. Political analyst Susan Boysen